Hello, one and all, and welcome to An Unlikely Tale, The New Few. Based in the Sword Coast of Faerun, where we use a combination of 5th edition, Pathfinder 1st edition, a dash of homebrew, and a sprinkling of the classic Rule of Cool. Tonight, we'll be continuing our intrepid journey to bring a little good into the world and have a little fun along the way. Do know that this is a brutal, grim-dark adventure filled with various hardships, struggles, and injustices. So if you have a low constitution score, like Silas, you may want to grab some advantage for those saves. Without further ado, allow me to introduce unto you the finest folks in the D&D sphere, as far as I care to speak. Our good friends,
Only the
2-Bit
finest.
Rabbit Verinter and Remini Ravine.
Hello.
Friends.
Bark, bark. Bread,
Friend.
bread, bread, bread.
Bark, bark, wolf.
So how you guys doing this week?
Cold. Oddly enough, it's been pretty cold here.
Lucky. It's been like pushing 100 over this way for like the last 3 days.
And by cold, I mean we've had like a bunch of typhoons hitting us. Hit us a bunch
Oh,
of
oh
times.
my god. That's rough.
It's
Never mind,
normal for.
You can keep them. You can keep
I was gonna say that
typing.
it's the Philippines, so it's either humid or other kinds of humid.
Oh, I didn't
It's either
realize you were
humid
out
or
in the Philippines
dry-
right now.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
nice, bro. I hear it's really beautiful out that way.
It's all right.
Well, compared to like America.
I mean, America's pretty nice. Oh, although I've only been to like Florida. Yeah. Anyway,
it comes. It has its moments. Florida definitely has its moments, for better or worse.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting America.
But as always, it's a pleasure to see you guys again. I'm glad to hear that you're all doing well, especially these days.
Yes.
How does a recap sound? Kind of get us all caught up from last session, for those who might need it.
Hit it up.
yes, please.
That'd be nice.
You got it, guys. Okay. Cue the music, folks. Okay. When last we left, our party rode along northeast on the Savlich River, putting as much distance between them and New Barovia as they could, in lieu of the recent appearance of the Tarrasque. Before long, they'd found safety some several miles and hours later, the calm bobbing of the waters bringing about a sense of calm and peace after such a harrowing escape from the monstrous creature now rampaging wildly across the city. Uncertain as to their next move, and eager to relax, they continue, getting to know each other along the way as Jean, Lance, Chiquita, Isla, and Cass share a little bit about who they are and where they hail from, each bearing a different story. The day continues on rather pleasantly, as they enjoy a delicious meal and drinks prepared by Kaz, witnessing soon after, in the distance, a massive pillar of blackened flame shooting straight up into the sky in the direction of New Barovia. A feat they reason was likely performed by Pozzoli, and pray that such an attack was sufficient in taking down the creature. The coming night brought with it an uneasy sleep, as a terrible nightmare racked their dreams, one they all share. In it, they find themselves aboard their same vessel, drawn to the top deck by some strange compulsion. As they arrive, surveying the landscape before them, a deep crimson moon looms overhead. The forest around them shifted, its previous verdance replaced instead by stark white trees. A sense of being watched suddenly takes over, and as they each respectively turn to find its source, silhouette against the blood-red night stands a massive figure, towering over the surrounding landscape. Tenderless growths writhing violently just out of sight, as the many eyes glowing across the surface of the figure stare down at the ship below. It reaches down with a gargantuan, roughly hewn hand, and as the fingers wrap around the ship, crushing it, your vision fills with a bright flash of scarlet. They each awaken within their beds unharmed but confused, gathering together out of fear and solidarity, and taking a moment to inspect the ship for any strange happenings. All save Lance hear a single whisper carry on the lazy draft passing through the vessel. Shomash Erdal. And this name, when shared with Lance, is revealed to be the name of a long-forgotten god, only mentioned in ancient tomes briefly. Faced with these revelations, they decide to head back to New Barovia, for it's there they're likely to find more answers. And once the chance presents, they wheel about, going against the wind, and begin the slow journey back, as Kaifis and Isla maintain the ship's course at the helm. And as this is taking place, how are our other adventurers filling their time as these strange dreams play over in your mind? The visual, almost surreal in its closeness to reality. You could have just as easily mistaken it for your waking hours, were it not for the strange going-ons that took place.
Chiquita thinks that she may have contracted a virus, so she will do maintenance on herself.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm gonna just lean it more into the Lovecraft protagonist part of my character now. Now that he knows the name and apparently that they're for some reason we're being targeted, either wants to see if he can recall more information or if he can find something on the boat or just anything that could give more clues.
Sure, give me 1 second. I just pull something up. Alrighty. So, how about we start with a history roll from Lance, and for Chiquita, give me a sleight of hand check as you attempt to keep your hands steady after experiencing such a stressful event. For the history roll, I'll accept that as is, with advantage, because to be frank with you, you are kind of giving me those heavy Lovecraftian protag vibes. So I'll give you it this time.
Okay, cool.
As you recall, your mind now far more awake and much more calm since the harrowing dream you had experienced. You slowly kind of comb over your thoughts in a recollective fashion, playing them over in your head and seeing what sticks or what might stand out. The name Shormash Erdal just continuously playing over as you rack your brain for any minute bit of information you can recall. While you can't quite make out where you might have heard these specific details, as the book is long since gone from your possession, you remember in a passing text that the name Shormash Erdal is one of many given to this entity from across the world. In ancient times, it was referred to as a overgod, one near in power to that of Ea. And while the details are vague, you recall a conflict taking place. Its provocation or source long lost to history. But the conflict in question you remember quite vividly, as its fame rings throughout the annals of history. The First Sundering, a confrontation that had taken place between the gods during the early infantile years of Faerun's existence, during which, for reasons unknown, Ao himself sealed Shormash Erdal away after splitting him into 3 separate pieces. As for where those pieces are, that too remains a mystery, as tellings of it fall off just after the Third Era. And that's about what you recall in a nutshell.
Well, no worries. And I'm starting to be like, all right. So, for some only reasons, Lance is the only one who has to do sanity checks now.
And eating checks.
Okay. Well, the pieces might have something involved, but I'll think about that later.
Why I gave mine away.
As Lance is recalling these memories from long read texts, Chiquita shakily attempts to repair her ever degrading body. Still very much in desperate need of replacement parts due to the hundreds of years that she has been active and traveling.
Maybe if I have better parts, I won't have weird projections in my head.
Is this thinking that is only part of the solution?
Do you think that it was real?
Case doesn't really know what to consider real after seeing that thing in the sky. And then that Tarask being summoned because of some cheese. And now all this. It is strange. But our boy is smart. He will help us, right?
Yes, he's a good bird. He's very smart bird. Smartest bird I've ever seen.
No pressure.
Yes, and so
Not
very
even an
wise.
ounce.
It is good to be smart. Kaz wishes she were a little smarter.
Maybe you can get better parts, like your brain. We can take it out and put a new brain in.
Kaz clutches the top of her head. Kaz is not sure that is a good idea.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know how it works for you, but
I don't think it works at all.
Intellect Devourer would disagree, but well, that's a different discussion for a different time.
what? A what? Anyway.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Anyway.
Moving along. And then, falling forward with a thump on the wooden floor, deliberately, Kaz begins doing some push-ups. If there are more scary things happening, Kaz must be ready.
Yes, that is the spirit. I love it. Get stronger. Yes, flesh
Kaz
pet.
will become so very strong.
Such a good flesh pet.
Wait, bro.
Oh boy. So as Kaz and Chiquita are discussing amongst themselves, and Lance appears to be in deep, faraway thought, what is Jean doing?
I am in the crow's nest, looking onto the horizon, onto the. Is it still smoking? Is New Barovia still smoking from the black flame pillar?
I'd say it's been about a few hours since then. The massive pillar's smoky trail left in the wake of the explosion appears to have significantly dwindled since its initial appearance. And now, it's just a modest blackened mark on the horizon, rising up towards the sky as the morning sun begins to peek over the horizon.
Well, still, after experiencing a night like that, and with all the things that he's experienced so far, John feels like, everyone having the same kind of dream, and especially after the sense of danger they felt after, he is under no illusion that it's just a dream and is having a small panic attack, but is trying to keep it down again, trying to meditate, trying to keep focused, trying to
Center.
find out if there's trying to find out how to handle these things. But apart from that, he's in the crow's nest, just contemplating.
From this position, you can see to the mountains in the south a massive break in the mountains. Within it, a kind of expanse of hilly terrain extending far eastward. To your north, a small clutch of woods, probably a quarter the size of that of New Barovia's reaching woods. But you can't help but feel a strange sense of foreboding coming from that direction. And as you gaze onward, inaudible whispers can be heard, unintelligible, fading just as quickly as a passing breeze.
Can't catch a break.
More speaking regulations. That's what we needed. So so is it is it just like a small part of the woods, or does it
It's
look
specifically the North Dark Wood.
Hmm.
That sense of ominous foreboding seems to be coming from.
Let's see. Okay, tell me if this is possible. Can John, close his eyes and focus and try to see if he can feel any Fey-like presence that seems to call him to that part of the woods, because he's been in the Feywild for so long. Maybe he can tap into whatever resonance that he found when he was there. See if he can,
I get what you mean. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
just if he can.
uh
Mm.
kind of like the same kind of energy that Azada
Yeah.
gives off.
Yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
familiar with the Azada?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So as John takes a seat and begins to meditate in the crow's nest, bringing his mind to that centered focus taught to him by his master, he reaches out with his kind of extrasensory perception. A technique that, while he is inexperienced, he was lucky enough to learn from his master during his time in the Feywilds. And using this, like a hand reaching out, he attempts to probe to see if there is any Fey presence, familiar or otherwise, emanating from the North Dark. Instead, something else brushes up against his consciousness. Something grotesque, unintelligible, incomprehensible, like gibberish spoken. It begins to peel into your mind slowly. Do you continue to reach out?
The player is curious, but the character is horrified. Does he feel a sense of danger if he does he do I feel a sense of danger? Like it's something that wants to grasp onto me. It's like is
It
there a
doesn't feel violent. It
if
does
it doesn't
appear curious,
okay
almost
if it
as if it too is looking at you, probing you as much as you're trying to probe it. Whatever it
if it
is,
doesn't
it's completely foreign to your way of thinking.
if it doesn't if it doesn't feel foreign to me, then I will push through and see if I can make contact. Yeah, if it doesn't feel like it's hostile, I
Okay,
try to
alright.
reach out.
Well, it doesn't feel hostile, just
Yeah.
off in every way, shape, and form. And as you reach forward with your perception, attempting to almost touch the mind, whatever entity you've come into contact with, you suddenly are taken with visions. You see in the sky a crimson moon. And as it appears in the sky, it quickly falls below the horizon, replaced by the sun, bearing the same scarlet hue. All around you, a white forest. And as you kind of gaze about, you suddenly find yourself in this forest. You're not sure if it's real, a vision, or something else. But before you is a singular trail going forward, deeper into the forest.
Does this almost look familiar from the dream from the nightmare we just had? Um, it sounds familiar. Um, Dan tries to tap the ground and to see if it feels like wood, because he was in a crow's nest. But if it feels like ground, or does it feel like ground?
As you reach down to touch the earth
Oh, with
beneath
my
your
foot,
feet.
with my foot,
Oh, yeah,
with my
okay.
foot, with my
Okay.
foot.
As you reach down with your foot, kind of tentatively probing to see if the floor still bears the same wooden quality that the crow's nest had just moments before. And unfortunately, you find it to carry a strange, squishy like texture to it. Like flesh beneath your boot.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, no.
You stand at a junction. Do you continue down this path into the forest, or do you withdraw your extrasensory perception and try to break free of this illusion or vision, projection? You're not quite sure what it is, but it feels real. Too real.
In for a penny, in for a pound. I go forward. I proceed.
You
Yeah.
continue along the fleshy path, continuing as the trees go ever denser. They grow ever denser with each passing step, until it's almost as if you're walking through a wooded corridor hewn naturally from the forest itself. This corridor leads you onward, exiting out into a large clearing. As you make your way out into the clearing, in the distance
Can I
you
see?
see 3 figures standing facing each other, 2 of which have their backs turned to you, 1 facing you, but his features are obscured by a large, dark leather cloak. It appears as if they look like monks of some monastic order, but you see no symbology that might allude to what kind.
I proceed forward into the clearing. Hand on the sword in my sheath. I don't unsheath it, but it's right there, just to show that I'm in a guarded position. And I approach slowly.
Cautiously, you close the distance between you and these 3 figures standing at the clearing's center. They don't appear to notice you, and if they do, they've made no indication or acknowledgement thereof. Before long,
Um, how,
was that?
so how far away are they, perception wise? How far away? Like
Like
20 feet, 10 feet?
oh, like how far are you from them
Yeah,
visually? Like
yeah,
from
visually.
the entrance of the clearing to where they stand, they are roughly 60 feet away.
Okay. I approach slowly, but I not at all like masking my presence at all. I'm trying to show that I'm actually approaching.
And as you kind of unabashedly approach this trio, making no effort to hide or mask your presence, yet still, they seem unresponsive. And it's until you're some 20 feet away does the one facing you lift his head, his face still obscured by the hood, shawled heavily over his figure. Hello, Lost One.
I wouldn't call myself lost, seeing as I seem to get been told up here. Do I have the pleasure of knowing who I'm talking to?
You hear a light chuckle escape from underneath the hood. Well, if you're here, you must be lost. For this is the forest of those who've lost their way, or wandered into places that they shouldn't be. We
I
are disciples whom happen to be making our pilgrimage through these lands.
I take a look. Does it, they don't appear to have any hostile body language, right? Like they seem to be completely aware of where I am and
The
are
other
not
two
guarded like I am.
The other two haven't made a single move as you've approached, nor have they acknowledged your presence. They just stand there, heads down, hands held in a prayer-like fashion, obscured by the long, heavy garments that are draped over them. They appear to be unarmed, bearing but a single pendant of iconography around their necks that, as you've gotten closer, you've managed to kind of get a better view of. Give me a second. I'll have a formal thing posted up in the Discord tomorrow, because I gotta fish for it out of my notes and I don't want to deviate, you know what I mean? But
Perfect.
the symbol in question is a singular crown-like piece with 5 points raised from its top, and a collection of 7 eyes in a kind of semicircle draped underneath the crown. The amulet appears to be hewn from wood and iron.
I guess it's be a religious check. I mean, all. I guess it depends on how old this religion would be, but can I like? Does this symbol remind me of anything at all?
Go ahead and give me a religion check.
If it's a like older than if it's like younger than 50 years, then I would have disadvantage. But yeah, 13 or 12, either way.
Oh, this faith, while the token appears maybe vaguely familiar, you can't quite place from where. Nor the god it's representative of. But it does give you a somewhat ominous feeling.
I'm in a white forest with a red sun, surrounded by three weird people. Of course, it would give me an ominous
Yeah.
feeling.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Okay. As I see that, seeing as there seems to be no movement to harm me or anything, I relax a little bit, but hands still in sheep. I say, well, I I guess you would call me a traveler as well. And I've heard a call from this from the forest, and I tried to answer just to see if it was something that I could help with or something that needed help. Is that you?
It was. We come here to call out to lost sheep that they might join our flock. Are you a lost sheep as well? Seeking salvation?
Not all who wander are lost. Well, it is true that I do not have a that destination, I do have a goal in mind. I wouldn't call myself a lost sheep, but you know, I'm a, I am a, I've always been a curious lad. Perhaps you could tell me a bit about your flock, and if it's something made for me.
Got you. Give me one moment.
Oh boy, why, why me? Why me?
Hey, hey, hey.
You're the one astral projecting.
Yeah.
I am a fighter monk. I literally have no magic.
Look, we're all doing dumb things.
Okay.
But wait, I'm sorry. Just to clarify, white trees, red sky. This is the same thing we saw in Nightmare, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The trees,
Okay.
this whole setting. The only difference is in the dream it was nighttime, but now
Here,
it's the
here.
early morning.
Okay. And did Lance mention the whole dark god?
Yes, he did. He
Yeah.
did mention it to you guys what he knew.
Okay. Okay. Well,
But at that point in time,
guess
he
it-
was sleep deprived, panicked, and terrified. So, like, the information he had wasn't as robust as what he had just learned, for example.
okay. Yeah, I guess it makes sense then that God would be here to try to learn a little bit more and maybe see if it's try to make sure that it's not possible against us. It's a bad idea though. But yeah.
Oh. Well, if you're curious, I'd be more than happy to share with you the glory of the new king. You see, he is a benevolent one, seeking to free us all from our suffering, from our hurt, our pain. He looks to shield us from that which would cause us these horrifying existences. He is divinity, perfection, ordained to mortal man. And he looks after all who follow him. Unlike the very many false gods that these so many lost sheep worship before they see the true light in the new king.
It's pretty culty.
No shit. Already sirens in my head. Good for you. I can't help but notice that your king seems to have called out to us last night.
His
Is there something they want from us?
his figure kind of grows a little bit more he like stoops over a little bit. You can't quite tell his expression, but there's an edge of aggression in his voice. You what? You spoke to the new king?
I did not speak to him. He made his presence known to us. Which is why I'm here for answers as to why.
You hear a concerning level of envy in this man's voice as he speaks. To be granted even a glimpse of his glory. He must have great plans for you.
From your tone, I would say plans that you have no knowledge of.
It is not my place to question his glory, merely to herald his coming and to shepherd his many sheep.
And I am not questioning his his plans. I simply wish to know what they are.
Oh, he seeks to return. A glorious turn, heralding a new era for all.
And if he reached out to us, I'm assuming he need our help. He needs our help.
If he's reached out to you, you must serve some sort of higher purpose in his grand scheme. The new king does nothing without cause, for he is all-knowing and all-powerful.
He pa- John pauses a bit and tries to take off. Okay, so how do I disengage from this?
Yeah, good luck.
Like, right? Okay. I see. In that case, then perhaps he can reach out to us again in a more clear message, and then and then maybe we could do something for him if it benefits us. And I try to slowly disengage from this connection.
Oh, he will definitely make himself known to you once again. You need not concern yourself with that. If he's shown himself to
Right.
you and your companions, they must be destined to play a part in his return. And as you're slowly backing away, his voice growing more fervorous as he speaks, he takes steps towards you.
Oh boy.
I go for, I, well, the projection I'm having is getting into a more guarded state, and I'm like, then I will wait for his call. Surely, as a faithful, you would not rush his plan, would you?
Your words give him pause for a moment. You may be
If he
right.
has-
You might be right indeed. He takes a step back, gesturing with a sweep of his hand. Maybe
Perhaps we'll.
we will meet again.
I I cut the connection. I try to at least.
And as you do, your mind kind of reeling back, flashing images skate by you at high speeds, things that have happened, things that are to come, and things that have yet to be. I'll let you roll perception to see if you catch a glimpse from any of these flashing images that might be helpful.
Oh, God. 20.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, okay, awesome. Alright, so, as these images race past you, you catch sight of one that stands out amongst the others, clearly for what it contains within. You see a scene as you, Lance, Chiquita, Caiaphas, Isla, all stand side by side, bearing your weapons. In the distance, a sweeping, massive horde of darkness. Its contents only identifiable by the pairs of eyes that dot sporadically across its massive surface. And behind all of it, you see it. The humongous, imposing form of Shormash, gazing at you in the distance. A single gnarled finger pointed as the horde charges against you. And you suddenly find yourself staring up at the sky, screaming your lungs out, as if in abject agony. The others are scrambling below to kind of see what's going on, and you're in a massively cold sweat.
I once I like I guess I snap out of it and like get on my knees and like, you know, I'm assuming I'm in like a state of shock. And like shaking trying to calm myself down, hyperventilating. Try to it probably takes me like a good 5 minutes to stop the chills. And then I slowly try to make my way down the crow's nest, and I go towards Lance because he seems to be the one who knows what's going on.
What just happened? What did you see?
Are you
He
okay?
reached out, taking the thing from last night. Reached out. He has people that follow him. I talked to them. He's trying to come back here. Said it was evil god, but he's trying to come back. There's got supporters.
Actually, he
I
never once
saw-
said anything about him being evil. He actually referred to him strictly as a benevolent and kind god.
No. The evil god that. Oh wait, no. Did Lance mention that he was an evil god?
No. Only that he was
Did-
a ancient god from way back in the first Sundering.
Okay, so he didn't. Okay,
Yeah, I don't know if I said it, but I think we all inferred it.
Yeah, it's kind of inferred, like, by the group that he was evil, but it's never been expressly said that the new king is evil.
okay. Recap. Okay, sorry. Like, I could have sworn he mentioned like the old evil god, but anyway, my bad. Old god. That
Yeah,
thing has
he is
followers?
he is old. Very much is old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I think
it was because we
that's
said like ancient old god, so then we all thought, oh, okay, it's like a Cthulhu.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably yeah. That
Okay.
definitely makes sense.
Trying to come back. Trying to come back. We have something to do with it. I saw premonition. We're fighting it. It has a horde. This big thing came back. I'm not sure if that means that it's going to happen, or if this is what's going to happen if we don't stop it. But we're fighting it, and it's not. The odds were not good then.
Okay.
And he
So-
cast out the only thing she had to worry about was the nobles. But I suppose we agreed there was more to it than that.
They reached out. I didn't think they would, but 3 people couldn't get their faces. I like sudden realization that I scrambled for myself on my person to get like paper and
Oh, excuse me.
and a charcoal to like draw the symbology I saw
Yes.
on their necks. And like this, they had this on them. I showed Lance, or I show everyone, but I specifically show Lance, and then I pass it around to everyone. They had that on them.
And then I'll relay the information that I have of apparently fought with AO, and that it was split into 3 parts, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm already starting to think is they're trying to assemble the parts, but also I'm not. So I was like, I don't know if we need to stop it or it's calling us to find it for it, the god. So that's my worry
That's-
right now.
He says that if the people I saw, they said that if he's reaching out to us, that it wants something from us. Is there any
What
chance
do
that
they
we
want from Kiz? Kiz is just. Kiz is small and not very smart.
I look at Isla, I look at Caiaphas, I look at Chiquita. Do any of you have anything that that could be that could lead to this thing?
Isla shrugs, stating that she's got pretty much nothing on her, save what she's got on her back.
Okay.
Caiaphas follows suit, but kind of empties his pockets out so that he can inspect the contents. Almost as if he's just as curious as what he might have on his person as everybody else.
Oh god. Oh
And
god.
The two people I'm most suspicious about, like
All
they're
you-
not here.
all you really
I don't
find,
know.
all you really find are 5 gold pieces, the weapons he carries on his person, and the various items that you had found and given to him when you had all met von Richten. So like the
he
hunter's
still has-
license, his sword.
Did we give the sword away? Did we
Uh,
give the sword back to you?
you had offered it to Youth, but Youth didn't take it.
Okay. Alright. So does anyone have like detect magic or detect or any way to find if any of these things that Von Richten had? Maybe.
Not unless I like
I
added that
have
'cause I
detect
didn't.
magic.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Like, I'm not sure if detect magic would mean. I mean, I think we know that some of these are magical. It's just that we don't know what. I mean, detect magic does say what it is, right? What kind of magic it is.
Let me double check, just to be sure.
Or should I just roll Arcana?
You could try Arcana as well.
I can try and do that too.
I definitely allow that. So,
Okay.
for the duration, you can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. Magic can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Oh, so you could like bury
that works.
items. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use detect magic.
As Chiquita inspects the sword, drawing it from its sheath and kind of gazing over its design, on its pommel, just after the handle of the blade and the handguard is a combination of 3 runic signs. The magic seems to be emanating specifically from those, and it appears to be evocation magic.
Okay. Probably not that.
It's very lucky to have made such smart friends.
The only thing I could think of, I say this out loud, the only thing I could think of was the coin that I gave, that I already gave you. And they know what those things are, and it has nothing to do with whatever old god that we're currently dealing with. This is new. If it's not something on our possession, maybe it's something about us or one of us. I don't know, man. This is a bit much.
Well, if your vision is true, I feel like all of us are in this, even if it's only focused on one of us.
Yeah. Side
Yeah.
by side.
Yeah, definitely. I just want, honestly, at this point, I just want to know why.
Yeah. Because right now we're just kind of going in blind.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, when we get back into town, maybe I can use. I have a card to go into the records and files as a librarian. Maybe I can look up some stuff. I'm out of character. I'm like, all right, let's lean into this. Maybe there's some old records that we can find that will give us clues on what's going on. If it maybe it's just something that hasn't been spoken of for so long, but they have records of it that they just never look at.
It is then that you recall the words of Youth Silverwood during your time in New Barovia before the Tarask incident. She noted of 3 major libraries. One aboard the Grim Kindness, the airship used by her and her affiliates. One within Barovia, and one aboard Aurora, that massive flying city you had seen during your earlier days in New Barovia. What separates these 3 libraries is the specific contents there within. Give me a history check to see if you remember specifically this part.
Alright. History. Okay, 22.
Excellent. You remember that you've mentioned that aboard the Grim Kindness sits a secret library. Within, bearing every single dark, eldritch, or long forgotten tome that could be found in New Barovia. Collected during their adventures and stowed away for safety. These books bear a single origin: the Amber Temple. And it's these books that might contain the answers you seek.
Okay, well, I relay that information. I guess we'll try and see if we can get on the Grim Kindness, and if not, we'll have to check out the Amber Temple if we can.
That would be nice. I don't like going into this blind. Like going into this not knowing what this thing wants.
The Amber Temple sounds very pretty.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be quite the sight to see.
Well, the side I saw was exactly what I thought of it. So I guess we have to go to this essentially Mr. Ponic. Mr. Ponic Academy Library, but okay. How far are we from Barovia?
Since you are currently riding against the wind, it'll probably take you a singular day's travel to get the rest of the way. And during this, you'll probably arrive somewhere in the late evening. But at the end of this day, you should successfully make it back to New Barovia.
Okay.
Field trip time.
We have a whole day of sailing. Well, I think we just focus on that. Getting back to the city. Hopefully, no other horrifying revelations happen to us within the day, please. One is enough for me. Actually, we had two. I had two in one day. That was unfair.
Yeah, I don't want to hear this, but I'm not going to say that out loud.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the bird's nest and keep a lookout. And I slowly, no fancy monk, no fanciness, just climb up that and slowly hit I sit down on the floor of the crow's nest and go onto a small fetal position and try to again try to calm myself and think, oh my god, what have we gotten ourselves into?
As looking up, I am wondering if he is going to be okay.
Maybe he should smoke some halfling weed. Is there any halfling weed on the ship?
You couldn't find any during your initial sweep of the ship, but now that you're actually looking for it, you might have better odds. If that's something you really want to do.
Hell yeah. Wait, what do I gotta roll? Tell me.
Alright. Give me an investigation roll. As you comb the ship in search of some hidden stash squirreled away aboard. After all, sailors spend a lot of time aboard their vessels. They gotta do something to keep themselves busy.
Got 11.
And despite your best efforts, you can't really seem to come up with anything related to some recreational relaxation.
Alcohol, I think. Assuming that used to be their
Oh yeah, that's
the present point.
And there's still plenty of booze aboard the vessel. Caiaphas only managed to work his way through a quarter of the stores.
As plants a fist into the palm of her other hand. Hans is thinking that a good breakfast will do the trick. And she saunters off to the kitchen.
Okay.
Breakfast.
Sounds like a plan. Kaz takes their leave from the party, going below deck in hopes of preparing a meal that will lift everyone's spirits.
Under eggs and bacon.
Yes.
Good. A basic
actually-
but classic meal.
Go ahead and give me a cooking utensils roll with dexterity as you quickly try to whip together a high quality breakfast for which everybody can enjoy. And perhaps the long and rather trying few days that you've experienced is kind of throwing you off your game. You end up inadvertently burning the bacon, and the eggs come out a little runny.
Oh.
As his shoulders sag in sadness.
It's okay, Kaz. I'm just sure it's being on the boat. It's making it a bit harder to cook.
You need an apron. You cannot cook without an apron. Apron will make it better.
Chiquita might be onto something. Plus, it will make Kaz look prettier. Hehehe.
Oh, so pretty. All right. Well, now I'm gonna note. Figure out how to make clothing. I don't know.
I'm sure we can
Ooh,
buy clothes, right?
Maybe you could make Kaz a pretty fruity apron. Yes, yes.
I will definitely try. I don't know if I can, but I'll try.
Ezra appreciates the effort.
Should I
Just
try it
as
now?
she hopes y'all did, Mrs. Yummy Eggs.
As
Well,
Cass
of course,
says this, one
yeah.
of the eggs kind of like weakly plaps over itself on the plate.
Yo,
Sure.
Chiquita's eating it. To make Kaz feel better. Chiquita's gonna eat it.
Have
As
you
is
eaten?
glad to see Chiquita enjoy it.
The squishy sound of eggs being crushed up by whirling mechanisms, gears, and pistons can be
Ew.
heard emanating from within Chiquita's head.
Ugh. She's gonna get gunked up on the inside.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, given her profession, it wouldn't be the first time.
Wow.
Whoa!
Well then.
Facts.
And escalated quickly.
Sorry, I saw an opportunity. I couldn't help it.
You miss the shots you don't take.
That said, after Chiquita consumes some of the breakfast goods, what does the party decide to do next? Do they also partake in the food prepared? Or do you have other plans aboard the vessel as it continues its slow journey southwest?
I'll probably
Surely.
go down after an hour or two of quiet contemplation and existential dread. Maybe after an hour or two on the crow's nest, and then I go down to the kitchen.
Yes, kid. You cannot zinc on an empty stomach. She hands over the burnt bacon and runny eggs.
Oh, you're definitely right. And I eat it happily. I've had worse.
Yeah, I'll eat also, and my parents always taught me to, not complain about a homemade meal. And then I'm going to, I guess I'll see if I can find an apron already there, and then figure out if I can sew on Kaz's name onto it.
Uh-huh.
With frills.
Yes.
Of course.
You sweep the interior of the ship, going so far as to head even into the cargo hold in search of a garment that you can adapt to your purposes. And while it isn't made of cloth, a old worn leather apron can be found draped up on a nearby hook in the far bottom hold of the ship. It appears that it originally belonged to a smith who must have worked aboard the ship.
This seems more fitting for Kaz, so let's see if Kaz doesn't mind wearing this. But also trying to think of like it. Will I succeed at trying to embroider this, or is it just gonna go horribly because it's leather?
Well, you can give me a sleight of hand check and we'll see how well that works out.
I guess we will. 16.
16? Yeah, you do a pretty solid job as you use your practiced techniques from mending your own clothes during your travels to sew an embroidered name into the breast of this apron, the name being Kaz's. Upon finishing your work, looking it over proudly, you finish the embroidery.
Hey Kaz, I've got a surprise for you.
Ooh, surprise, yes. Thumbs up as she walks over.
Okay. Well, I won't ruin the surprise, but I hope you like it. And I display the apron and then kind of do that thing where you're kind of like, see, it's your name.
Hey, hey.
Az's face is absolutely beaming right now. It has been so long since Kaz has received a gift from anyone.
Dobby received clothes.
She grabs the apron and then gives Lance a big hug.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Sure. Well, constitution.
I do head pats and then also put it on to Cass.
Ooh, and it is of thick leather too. Yes, feels very good.
Yeah, I thought that part out through. If it appeared to be perfect for you.
Yes, yes. Nodding eagerly.
And due to the sentimental value associated now with this apron, when Kaz cooks while wearing it, she will have advantage on the rolls.
Yay! Friendship.
Now, where is Jean located still? Is he still in the crow's nest, or did he go back up there?
I would probably, I said I would have stayed there for at least an hour or two.
Yeah.
And then, after composing myself, go back down.
Okay.
I guess by the time like by the time I went down, this is probably happening.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And as you kind of make your way downward from the crow's nest, you see the exchange taking place between Kaz and Lance.
And I take that as a reminder that there is still good in this world.
Gotta
I,
find
Good
something.
is-
I smile and nod and proceed to
You look very pretty, Kaz.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
It suits you.
How much would this
Um,
apron weigh?
Well, given the nature of leather, I'd say roughly like 12 pounds. Yeah, it's a big,
Oof.
pretty big, well, not really big, but it's a sizable apron, and leather does have some weight to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If I had thought about it, I would have sewn on, instead of kiss the cook, it's fight the cook.
Yes,
that'd be
perfect.
cute. That'd be cute.
Modifications in the future.
Yep. Okay. Sure.
I suppose this would also grant a slight bit of AC too, would it?
No.
No, I wouldn't do that, only because if it does give AC, it would technically count as armor, which might kind of conflict with your
Okay.
unarmored defense.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the main reason why. Though there are magic items that don't technically count as armor, but do grant AC. This, however, unfortunately, is not one of them.
We'll work
Gotcha.
on that in the future.
Mhm.
Upgrades.
For sure.
Battle apron, yes.
And as the ship continues along its way, some distance off, you see a small gray plume of smoke rising up from the nearby tree line. It appears to be near the shore of the river, some several miles ahead.
I'm assuming by then I'm back at the crow's nest. Can I suss out what that is?
Sure. Jean scales the netting leading up to the crow's nest once more, and using this vantage point, inspects the strange smoke in the distance. Give me a perception. Oh.
That's a natural one. I am blind.
Oh man.
Well,
As you gaze on, you think to yourself, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. And that's about it.
A fire. Yeah. Probably a fire.
What do you see?
Smoke.
Great.
Honestly, the sun's kind of in my eyes, so I can't really tell what's there. But yeah, probably I don't know. There's some smoke.
Fuck.
Just another day.
Can we just figure out if we can make any heads or tails of the smoke any better, or like the
Sure,
type of
so
smoke?
someone else can hop up there too and take a look. Yeah.
Can I just fly?
Yeah. I mean, you got flight. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Wings?
I know we only use it once every month, but yes.
I guess
Okay,
I'll climb up too.
Okay. As you all systematically scale the crow's nest, climbing its netting to make it to this solid vantage point above, you realize in the distance you see a plume of gray smoke rising up from the tree line. Go ahead and give perception so that you can get a better look.
Yeah, squints really hard.
Yeah, see, because the angle of the sun, it's kind of hard to see in that direction. So you probably couldn't see anything.
Also, she grew up underground.
Robot eyes.
Beep boop.
All right.
Zoom, enhance.
Chiquita focuses her highly specialized eyes on the distance and kind of attempts to see what the source of this smoke might
Okay.
be. After kind of looking over, surveying the clues, and a little dabble of personal experience, she comes to realize that it might be a campsite a handful of miles away. It's not that far. You probably could get over to where it is in about an hour's time, if the wind persists.
So, it look like it's somebody's fire. Somebody made a fire. Campsite?
Ooh, new friends maybe.
Can I, looking around the forest, can I like suss out how close, if this is around the same forest where the pack is?
It is unfortunately not, as the
Okay,
pack
so-
is located in the southern part of the Reaching Woods. Well, not the southern part, but
Okay.
the southern part bordering the north part of the river.
Okay.
So like right around here is where you would find the
Yeah.
pack.
And we are somewhere around here.
You are currently right about here.
Okay. So we're looking at the Darkwood.
No, you're looking. It's kind of like what you're seeing is right about here.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
Sorry,
exactly
yeah.
the- Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Darkwood was the direction that you had that strange.
Yes.
Yeah, mental. pull.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Which I would needed to know if there's a fire there, probably somewhere I avoid.
Oh, you got more than one reason to avoid those woods. I'll tell you what.
It's called Darkwood, man.
Yeah.
I can infer. Anyway, so it's like, and get what I can go. I guess it's camp. I guess it's a camp. I don't think it's really something that we could concern ourselves about. Doesn't look like a raging fire, so it looks more like a controlled
It looks like
campsite, right?
a modest-sized campfire.
I don't think it's something we have to concern ourselves about, right? Unless,
You should check
I mean,
it
how-
out. Yes.
I mean, that we would have to moor the ship to actually check it out. So, I think it's best we just move on.
Chiquita does not care.
I mean,
Well,
I guess Lance, you can fly. You can fly toward it, like see what's it about, like fly back.
yeah, I was like, if I can fly just to get a better view, but not get too close. That's the only thing I'm thinking about.
Just
Well,
don't get
given that you're flying and the ship's the only thing really struggling with the headwind, I would say that, yeah, you probably could fly up a distance and see without having to get close. The location in question is, it's got a distinct look about it. So you'd be able to see it from here if you were up high enough.
Okay. Should I just make a roll again then to see what I can see from this new vantage point?
I think I'll just show you.
Okay.
As you take to the skies, kind of hovering up so that you can get a good view of the source of this plume of smoke, you're able to see a small kind of shoreline adjacent to the river. By it, two individuals appear to be sitting at a campfire next to a large wagon, with two black horses drinking from the river.
Do I notice the things on the shore?
What do you mean? The people? Yeah,
Yeah.
You see the two individuals, the two horses, the wagon, and the campfire.
Oh, I mean, are those bags or what are those? Are those people tied up? That's what think I see on the. Yeah.
Oh, those are the
Those are
horses.
horses.
Those are
Those are
horses.
horses. Yeah.
Oh,
Those
those
are
are horses.
horses.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
My perspective makes me think. Hey, these look like people. What are those?
Okay, in fairness, looking if you don't look close enough, they do kind of look like body bags.
Yeah, they do. They do. They look like something wrapped up in like a black bag or something from this distance. They do.
Yeah, that's what my
Absolutely.
brain was like. And I'm just paranoid. It's like, oh god, are these cultists? Are they taking over?
Cultists, flavors, plenty of different reasons.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, okay, if this is all I see, it doesn't look like anything bad. So I just, I love Hans.
You make fun. Thank you.
You good horses.
Horns.
I mean, if it looks like they're fine, then I'll just say like, I guess we don't have anything to worry about. We can move on.
Yeah. You could. Okie doke.
I'm just thinking because we need. We have the pressing matter of the.
But the
An old-
horses are
old
so
god.
pretty.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean,
Oh, very well.
I mean the boat has to go through that river, right?
You'll be passing
So-
by it, yeah. You'll be passing by it.
Yeah, it's only,
But that doesn't
Only
mean you have to
passing by
stop.
them.
Yeah, you don't have to stop necessarily.
unless they call our attention, I think we can play.
Okay.
Just never had a chance to see horses very often.
They're all right.
They're alright. Eh. They cool, I
I know.
guess.
Just
Some horses-
okay.
Some horses can be assholes, so
Okay. So, as Lance relays this information, and the party decides to kind of, for better or worse, continue along their way, the vessel plods along. Um, During this time, is there anything you wish to fill your time with as the ship continues along its path?
Yeah, I am needing your help with something.
Wait, whose help were you asking for?
What you asking for?
John,
Oh.
Okay, that's it.
you
What
as
can I
the
do for you?
ears. Oh, okay. So, I need you to be spot check, yes?
I am probably not very good at a spot check. What are you going to be lifting in?
She
Look
grabs
around.
her maul that is like just a little bit taller than her entire body.
Hey. Well, if it's spotting, that should be fine, because I won't be the only one lifting it. But alright, I'll spot you. I'll spot you, bro.
Yes, good.
Cass looks around for a suitable spot to rest on as she wants to do her lifts with her maul.
I tried to find like some stools to put. So like I lay down like a bed, one of our bedrolls on the ground, and then I grab a few stools to like to make sure the mall doesn't land on her.
I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Basically a makeshift bench press. Yeah.
All right. And with a little bit of ingenuity and uh, creative thinking on the part of Jian and Kaz, they managed to hobble together a makeshift bench press so that Kaz might practice some of her lifting. And she fills this hour with some rather strenuous exercise.
Where did you even get this thing? This is like your size.
Oh, you know, Cass just kind of finds zing sometimes.
Okay. In my head, okay, would be probably still on that. In my head. Cool. And I look at the model like I don't think I can lift this thing because I can help you, but I'm pretty sure I can't lift it.
Well, no offense to the others, but I'd say you are the second strongest among us.
Oh, I think that's true.
Enough talk. Cass must exercise.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Excellent. And Kaz makes a little bit more headway towards gaining more physical strength. Should she continue her exercise regimen a few more times, she may actually see physical returns on her training.
And as he's doing
Cass will
her,
be so strong.
being strong is good, but sometimes it pays to be quick too. No? Maybe after this we could do a bit of sparring, just so that we could we haven't been in a fight together yet, so it'd be good to know what kind of things we're capable of.
Ooh, that is very good idea, John. You think very good. You think very good.
I try.
Keeping up with accents is hard.
Once she's done with her reps, I'll try to find like some sticks, like sticks that are long enough to be like sword bent.
Oh, all right. Well, you head around the ship, kind of looking for a makeshift sparring tool, and you happen across 2 old brooms.
Works.
With a quick untying of the bindings that hold its bristles in place, you free them, revealing the wooden sticks underneath.
That'll work. That's after he did her reps, and then I I showed the stick that like if you if you're not tired yet, we can start doing some sparring.
Oh, yes, that's.
Okay.
All right. Deciding to fill the time with a little bit more exercise and practice, the two decide to spar one another as they kind of gauge each other's fighting styles, what they're capable of, and how they might better complement each other in battle. Roll initiative. Holy shit!
Kaz is
dang
on
it.
fire today.
I don't know, that's not good for me.
Oh,
And I am so not. I am so not.
I love it. Can this be the meme for John? Is that every time he just gets his ass whooped in any sparring match?
Hey, that's what I asked for, man.
I'm just seeing that there's probably a pattern so far.
well, I mean, to be fair, the first like real sparring match he had, it was against a guy who like fought one of the first vampires. So
No, I know.
He
I'm
kinda
just
set himself
if
up
it,
there.
if it becomes a joke thing, then I'll laugh at it.
I couldn't blame you.
All right.
But you never know, man. So he might flip the script on us. Who knows?
It's just initiative. It's just initiative.
Exactly.
Just take the hit. Just take the hit. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So as the two of
Okay.
you pull into fighting stances, brandishing your stick. Now, just for the sake of simplicity, each strike will have to beat their AC. What is the... Hold on. Actually, I got something for this. I know exactly what I'm going to do for this to make things both easy and fun for everybody involved. So we don't have to worry about anybody getting the absolute... taking way too much damage. Okay. That's a +5
we
for
just-
you, and a... Okay. So when you roll your attacks, you will be rolling a d20 +5. Attacks only do 1 damage as you strike each other with
Okay.
these sticks. And pretty much the fight ends at 5 strikes. Oh no, I'll actually let you guys decide. How do you want to do this? What do you want to be the deciding factor for the duel?
Best 2 of 3.
Oh, that's still a 3 hit. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. And the first round of this 2 out of 3 bout begins as Kaz, perhaps far too ready and amped up due to her exercise, takes the lead
Oh no.
in combat.
She has the adrenaline pumping already.
Yeah.
She's like hoisting a broomstick up and down.
Yes, hopes you are ready for this.
Sorry, what?
Yes,
John
hopes
is
you are
getting
ready.
distracted.
Here she comes.
With a very wide stance and taking very long strides despite her stubby legs. She like practically propels forward with each step. And here comes the swing. Whoop, that's
Oh,
not
what?
correct.
What?
Hold on.
66. What? You hit me. You hit me and my.
You hit me and my future self.
You hit me in every universe.
My everything hurts.
As Cass dashes forward. Oh, sorry, my cat just got in the way. I almost tripped over him and died.
As long as the cat is safe.
I know, right?
Yes.
Poor little buddy. So as Kaz dashes forward, brandishing the broomstick in hand, she swings wide, bonking Jean with a clean, concise strike.
Ow. Ow. Okay.
Does this
Pretty good.
conclude Kaz's turn?
Yeah, I do not have extra attack yet.
All right. John, kind of taken aback by the speed and accuracy of this diminutive kobold's combat skill, he is kind of stunned for but a moment. However, I'll give you. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Okay. Yeah. As John is kind of stunned by the speed of Kaz's concise strike, this gives Kaz an opportunity to act again. As the surprise round has ended and combat
yeah,
begins.
yeah. Makes sense. I had a natural one. That
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So roll
You
another.
go again.
Yep, you get to
Yeah,
go
go
again.
ahead.
Yep.
Haha, too slow.
And coming in with a secondary strike, Kaz whips around, swinging the broomstick, and connects with John's side.
Ow. Okay. At the second hit, the first hit stuns me, and the second hit like wakes me up. It's like, okay, right, sparring. Okay.
And now,
Right.
kind of brought back into the moment and snapping to amidst the combat taking place, Jean sees an opportunity to act. What does he do?
After taking the next hit, I roll around and go for a side swipe towards her.
You got it.
15.
Does a 15 hit your AC?
It just barely hits.
Meets it, beats it.
Okay.
And Jean returns Kaz's onslaught with a strike of his own.
Yeah.
Does this conclude your turn?
No. To teach her a lesson, I will spend a key point for. Well, actually, no. I won't spend a key point yet. I'll use my martial art and use an unarmed attack. And as I'm going through this horizontal thing, I crouch lower and go for a sweep to the leg.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and
With my-
roll
with my-
roll
with
the
my-
attack on that.
Ooh, 8.
All right. And as you go for a sweeping strike on Kaz, attempting to take her footing out from underneath her, she manages to quickly jump up and dodge out of the way. Her small size giving her a degree of agility.
Have to just focus on the weapon to make sure to pay attention up to the full body, and that's my turn.
And it is Kaz's turn once again.
Shit.
Ah, yes, it is on his accord.
Kaz comes in with a follow-up strike as she attempts to counterattack, coming down from her small leap to dodge John's sweep kick. And he is able to deftly dodge out of the way with a quick sidestep. The broomstick coming down with a heavy clack on wood.
Okay, no extra attacks, so
As I parry through and she moves forward towards me, I try to hit her in the back.
All right. And with a 23, Jean manages to reposition using some quick footwork, bringing his broomstick down with a backhand strike on Kaz, the broomstick connecting with a dull thud.
And then after getting a hit, this time I'll spend a key point and go for very close. Because why not? So that's 2 more hits. First is 10, and the next one is 20.
All right. Digging
So
deep,
I
you tap into your spiritual power, and utilizing your key, you manage to kind of bolster your speed just enough to get 2 more strikes in this short span of time. With a quick jab, your fist flies past Kaz as she inadvertently dodges out of the way. But this lines her up for a clean connecting blow on the second strike. And as you make contact, that is the 3rd hit, winning Jian the first round of this 2 out of 3 bout.
I lower the weapon and I give a pow. It's like, "Hmm, you're a lot faster than you look."
Oh, yes.
Kaz spins around a little in a bit of a daze.
You as well. Oh,
Do you want to?
What?
That you had enough, or do you still want to continue? I'm down. I'm still down.
we continue. Yes.
She flexes with a stick in both hands and hoists it up again.
Okay.
Alrighty,
So
reroll initiative again as round 2 begins.
that's another foot.
Excellent. Okay, so as the second round of combat begins, Kaz has an opportunity, utilizing her agility and size, to take the lead in the first strike of battle. How does she proceed?
Just a moment.
She rages.
I would like to rage.
Just reading over stuff real quick, and yep, she is feeling it.
She would like to
She is
rage.
fitting. She is going to rage. Oh, dear.
A friendly rage.
Tapping into
no,
that
you're gonna-
visceral primal wrath that's buried in every single person. Kaz unleashes this fury as she rages.
You best have been once, but not this time.
Does a 14 hit?
There we go.
It is not enough. She charges
Oh,
forward, sticking you.
Hold on, it's the +5 too. So 14 plus
Oh, yeah,
5
so
would
it
be
should-
19.
So it should be 19. So that
Yeah,
should hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. So, how does Kaz go about this first strike after raging?
Charging forward and with stick held high up in the air, she goes for a vertical strike down.
And the blow connects as the stick meets Jian's shoulder. And in that instance, despite the fact that the stick is almost harmless, the force of the blow is enough to almost make Jian's knees buckle.
Why take your range damage?
Nah.
Okay.
Because this is a friendly like duel. I'm not gonna like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Stop. I knew that's just stop. Okay.
And does this conclude Kaz's move?
Yes. Haha, do not quake under me now.
Okay. And I go into position and go for your attack.
You got it.
19. I bunker on the knee.
With a riposting strike, you kind of take the blow and use the opportunity, the close distance, to lay out one of your own, meeting Kaz with full contact.
And then I'll use martial arts to do another attack. I try, so I hit her on the knee, and then with my offhand, I open palm hit her on the chest.
You got it. And it connects as the first blow kind of leaves her reeling and opens her up. And the second is able to cleanly connect with the center of her chest.
She goes, "Pooh."
Not enough to hurt, just enough to feel the force
It
of the
definitely takes some wind out of her, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
small little Kaz.
Big, but still small.
Does that conclude Jan's turn?
Yes, that was my action section.
Alright, it is now Kaz's move. As she regains her footing from the reeling strike that Jan had just previously laid out.
As sputters a little, and with a mildly frustrated tone.
That is not fair. You were so much quicker than Cass. I've had the
You're and you are so much stronger than me. Even out.
Soon I will be quick and strong.
She charges in with a move similar as last time, as the duelist starts to get to her head a little bit.
And in that kind of buzzed out flurry, Kaz's blow goes wide and misses Jan by a modest distance.
And I say go.
Okay. I dodge. I sidestep, dodge, and then bonk her in the head. Bonk.
And the bonk comes down with a gentle, dull thud as Kaz is struck for the third time, winning the 2 out of 3 bout in Jan's favor.
You're strong, my diminutive friend. You see him wincing on his shoulder. A lot stronger than I am, but I guess I have to rely on my speed in such a bout.
With the bonk on the head, Cass just plops onto the floor, gets into a cross-legged position as she huffs for breath.
Yes, very strong, but not quick. Whew. Okay, Cass has much to learn, yes.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good, dude. I mean, I don't think I can even lift the mall that you were benching. I move towards the mall and see if I can lift it. I doubt it.
This lifts Kaz's spirits up as she is amused by the attempt. She
Yeah.
points with laughter for a bit
Yep.
and then gets up, walks over, gives him a pat on the back before hoisting up the maul over her shoulder.
we all have our strong points, which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
You know, you
It is
we
good to
can
be
all,
different. Yes.
yes, we can each cover our weak parts with our strong parts. Oh, still rubbing the elbow. Still
And in
hurts
the
a little more
distance,
than
you hear Chiquita murmur under her breath, "More parts."
What is that, Chiquita?
New parts. I need new parts.
Oh, yes. I guess that is important. Yes. Yes.
what do we even go for to find new parts?
I'm looking for Coco? Moko? Momo? The bird and Senor Queen.
I think you've mentioned that Quint was in the Flying City, right? Or
Yes.
See.
so well, once we're done with, I guess once we're done looking for what we need to find in Barovia, we can try to go to Aurora. I have no idea how to get there though.
Meanwhile, somewhere else completely different.
Achoo! Huh. That is weird.
Anyway,
Somewhere far away, an Ovali sneezes at the mention of their name.
an attempt at the name.
Coco? Moko? Toto?
It is as if there's a collective of minds trying to comprehend something that's just not working.
And as you all are discussing them and kind of enjoying each other's company at the top deck of the ship, the campfire you had noticed in the distance some time ago has grown significantly closer. 1 second. Do. Why are you not? There we go. It's weird.
Roll 20 shenanigans.
For a quick second, but it's actually resolved itself pretty damn quick, so no worries.
Easy.
Gotta love it when things work out the way they're supposed to.
Yay.
Alright. To the ship's right, you see a gathering, 2 individuals in the distance, sitting by a campfire just outside of a wagon. By the shoreline of the river, 2 beautiful black horses idly drink from the passing river.
Oh, they are so majestic.
Kaz remarks as she leans over the. Crap, forgetting my nautical terms. Starboard.
I think it's starboard. I think starboard is the right side, port is the left.
Yeah,
Let's go with that.
probably.
Or is that backwards? So I have it backwards.
Let's go with that.
I'm not gonna look it up and just say we're right.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah,
No,
no,
it's
we
a
are
ship.
right. Yeah, no, starboard is the right side of the ship, port is the left side, stern is the back.
I was that confident.
So
Alright.
she just hangs over the edge, her arms dangling over as she admires the horses. The horns.
They appear nonplussed by the presence of the vessel as it passes, idle whipping of their long, majestic tails. The two individuals by the campfire appear to have noticed the vessel as it passes, and you hear indistinct calls coming from them as they wave. It appears that they're smiling.
He's back. Hello.
As weaves back.
Yo, same. I
You
wave
just wait.
back.
I just waved back.
Yeah, I'll wave too.
And you hear just barely, "Safe travels!"
I shout back. You too.
Yeah, you lots.
And
Don't.
as you continue on, the ship passes, leaving the camp in its wake.
I'm sure that. I'm sure. That had no consequences whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nice people. I hope we see them again.
I'm sure that had no meaning whatsoever.
Alright, let's get our map nice and adjusted.
Let's make a history check of those two people saying safe travels 10 sessions ago.
Then Nas discovers eldritch horror among them.
They were
We wake
implanting
up-
memories into us.
And we wake up at night and see those faces slitting our throats.
Right. Crab walking on the ceiling of the ship in their cabin.
Oh no.
The horses are the actual BBEG.
Safe travels is actually the sleeper agent activation for all of us.
Yes. Yeah.
Chiquita starts to feel funny.
Oh no. That was the trigger word. Oh yeah. On all this, where is Ayla and Caiaphas? What are they doing?
Ayla is helping Caiaphas currently steer the ship and keep course of the vessel.
Caiaphas can steer a ship.
Pardon?
He can steer a ship.
Well, it's not very hard. He just has to make sure it doesn't go crashing into one of the sides of
Okay, that's fair.
the riverbank.
Okay, that's fair.
Driving
Wait,
under
isn't
the.
he? Wait. Isn't he hung over? Exactly. Isn't he hung over?
Oh yeah. That's why Ayla's helping keep him on course.
That's fair.
Also, at this point, I would just expect him to be hungover all the time, so he's used to this.
Yeah, this is like his natural state of function.
That's
Basically
my
Jack
secret.
Sparrow.
That's my secret. I'm always.
I'm always trashed.
Oh my god, it's Johnny Depp. Mega pint.
Oh man. Okay, so as we continue along the river, you start to see the Savage Woods in the distance, hinting that Barovia isn't too far off. And with the late evening sun kind of falling into place, the warm glow of the sunset begins to cast itself across the mountains and the reaching woods, really selling to you why these mountains carry the moniker that they do. As the light, the sun, peeks through the far hills, creating an almost idyllic view from this current position. And part of you feels like this might be a good omen, as the sight fills you with a modicum of hope for the future, for yourselves, and perhaps for the world. Having faced all of these strange and outlandish events in recent day, it's almost as if reality itself is coming apart at the seams. As the late evening kind of begins to settle in, and the ship closes in ever closer to its destination, are there any other like modest tasks, activities, or otherwise that the party would like to engage in? Or do they choose to continue the rest of the trip, kind of focused on getting home? Or
Yeah.
If I have some time, I'll do some simple sword maintenance. Aside from that, nothing.
fair enough.
You know, keep it oiled,
Uh,
keep it sharpened, clean it off.
I don't know if this is a thing that Lance could practice in this moment, but I think he's realizing it's like, so we're like level 3 or level 4 adventurers now. Excuse me. But we're going to basically convince people, hey, what about that old god shit? Can we learn about that? He might need to work on his like diplomacy or like convincing of people. So is there like a way he could be like, like how Sims talks in a mirror and be like practicing their charisma?
Yabby dabby doo. Yeah. You know what? Actually, yeah. I'd say that you'd be able to do something like that. There's a washroom aboard the ship that you could kind of, and that contains a mirror that you could kind of practice your convincing and diplomacy skills. So if that
Okay,
is
perfect.
something you wanted to do, yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Give me
Someone wants to like listen to me do this over and over again.
give me
I
3 charisma checks, not saves, checks. These
Checks.
values
I mean, if
are
you want-
going to kind of paint how this goes out. And also,
I
what
mean,
would
if
you
you
want
want
to
to
say?
do it while I'm, if you want to do it while I'm like sharpening my sword or something, I can listen to you.
So it would
Yeah.
just be a flat so it's just
Charisma.
with a +4 then because I have an 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a way to? I can't click on it, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
have to
you
just-
you can.
Just charisma, you can.
Yeah, yep. You
Yeah,
just tap the yep.
Oh.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Okay.
18.
You
All
said
right.
3.
Yep. 2 more. 21.
Okay.
14. That's not a bad average. It's not a bad
Yeah.
average at all.
I mean, the
actually.
first 2 look pretty. Oh.
Yeah, they're really good. Okay, so as Lance practices his kind of diplomacy skills in the mirror,
You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy.
The trick is to
recounting.
not sound crazy.
Yep, recounting the various kind of questions, comments, and things that he wanted to address upon his return. It proves to be relatively productive, as he repeats these various things over and over to himself in the mirror. He eventually comes up with the least concerning, crazy sounding way of broaching this subject and kind of convincing any parties of interest of his positive intentions and willingness to kind of glean this information. And to that end, if he were to continue this exercise in the future, it may have a massively positive impact on his social skills.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out. I was like, how do I practice charisma by myself if I have to? Because like every other thing, I can be like, okay, yeah, you can just practice it by yourself if you really need
Yeah,
to.
right? Yeah, and that's part of the thing about the narrative growth that I really like. It makes people kind of come up with creative ways of going about practicing and training these skills and abilities. And I mean,
If you find,
I'm
if
not
you can
gonna
find
lie,
a spell to record yourself,
I've done it myself, where I've talked by myself in a mirror trying to practice like public speaking or something of that accord. It's,
yeah.
it's actually pretty normal.
when you first start trying to do job interviews, it's like,
Oh yeah.
okay, yes, okay, yeah,
No, the flashbacks.
Yes,
No
cards, like-
flashbacks. No.
Oh, believe me, man. We've both been. I'm there with you. I'm there with
Yeah.
you. I've worked.
Oh yes, I can think plenty of times where I was good for the company. My weaknesses and strengths, they're actually the same thing if you think about it.
I care too much, and I don't accept failure.
I go above and beyond, and that's my weakness.
You can't. Remember, you can't say that you need the job to live.
Even though it's a minimum wage paying job.
And it's literally why you want the job, but you can't say that.
Yep, you have to lie to them and convince them that you actually like this place and want to do this not because you need to survive, but because you want to work for them.
Why yes, insert boring office job. This is my life passion.
I definitely don't have other things in mind, and I'm doing this to just get by until then.
I definitely want to make this company great, and I know for a fact there's upward expansion.
Mm.
I totally believe in the company vision, whatever that may be.
Family
Alright, let me just-
dynamic? I eagerly look for the opportunity to become a part of that.
You all just gave me ideas for how the campaign's gonna start for the one I told you all about.
Oh.
I can't wait for that one.
Please
Wait,
let me know when you get it going.
Okay, if we're going to be reliving job
I'll tell
interviews,
you all.
I'm out. I don't,
Okay, you'll be part of the normal campaign, not this one, because these two have heard about it and they're like, all right, yeah, this is dumb enough.
Okay. Hey, look, at one
Fair
point,
enough, I have to.
I sold adult toys for a living, okay? So, as far as shit jobs go,
I
Yep.
mean,
it's not so much the act of selling the toys that was the problem, it's the kind of people that come in for those toys that made
Yeah.
the job such a headache.
I believe that.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, when you said sold toys, my brain immediately, for some dumb reason, went, you were a door-to-door salesman.
Can I
Vacuum
interest you
cleaners?
in this Vibromatic 5000?
It cooks, it cleans, it finishes you.
Perfection.
I spent almost.
It gives you the American
And-
dream.
Sam still out of your face.
I spent almost a decade in the service industry, man. I've met enough people to know that people are crazy.
Same.
Yeah, same.
It's a rough spot to be in. It's a rough spot.
Anyway,
Yep, back on task, my friends. So, the sun is slowly creeping down over the horizon. As 3 hours have passed in what could only be described as the blink of an eye. As you all focused heavily in the various tasks and activities you've invested yourselves in this last stint of the ride. And by the time the moon sits high in the sky, the familiar woods, the Savlich Forest, come into view. Flanking both sides of the vessel and alluding to the last leg of your journey. One moment. There we go. Fantastic. And then we just give you a nice little map swap on over. Hello, friendos.
Hey. Been a while.
Yeah, pay
It is good to be back home. Sort of.
Just get rid of that. Pay no heed to that. Okay.
oh, look who's still here.
He was actually waiting for us.
Alrighty. So as the
Ports,
ship
right?
pulls in, and in the distance you see the massive sprawling walls of New Barovia. Get out of here.
Edis to lead us.
It takes little time before the ship passes through the aquatic gateway into the main body of the Savlich River that feeds into the city interior. After a short while more, the ship arrives in the main dockyard of New Barovia. To your surprise, a massive island now sits at its center. Humongous buildings sit at its top.
Well, that wasn't there before. Is this the floating thing that we saw around before?
Yes, yes it is.
Okay. Just making sure it's not a new one.
No, I've been doing a lot of like little art projects in the side, and I actually updated the old model to a newer one.
Looking good.
I also have an entire map of the interior of Aurora available now as well.
Ooh.
So when you guys do eventually decide to go in there, you'll have a visual representation of where you sit in it. But now that our party has arrived back in New Barovia, the keel ship that you've called home for the last 2 days kind of groans in protests as it slowly approaches one of the nearby piers.
I mentioned to everyone, we should probably like go out as quickly as possible. We did kind of technically stole the ship. You know, just so that we don't have to worry about the owner coming back.
We only borrowed it and used some of its supplies. They won't mind.
Just
yes?
a little bit.
They won't. They especially won't mind if they don't know who did it.
Yeah. Oh, I was seeing what you were saying now. Yes, yes. Okay, yes, we
So
go.
maybe we quietly and discreetly, quickly leave the ship on the port.
You disembark, quickly mooring the vessel at the nearby pier, and stealthily stealing away from its deck. Sneaking out of the port and into the city interior. Surprisingly, you meet no other people on your way out, as the late evening seems to have brought a hushed silence over the port. But
Yeah, I don't think.
to your surprise, almost all of the damage in this section of the city is gone.
There's no battle scars, no damage whatsoever.
Save the kind of bits of debris here and there. So a stone here, a stone there, some broken wood, some shattered glass left. Everything is restored exactly as it was before the Tarask arrived. Buildings still whole and untouched by the rampage that the creature had laid out.
Well, did we go back in time?
Okay. Is it just me, or is that even weirder? The fact that there's no damage. I know magic is real, but this seems even much, even for magic. This is weird, right? I'm not the only one thinking that.
Oh, not that.
I know
this
magic.
complaining.
Maybe it could be possible if the person is strong enough, but who is strong enough to do this?
Well, whoever's strong enough to kill your ass, I guess that makes sense. If they can kill that thing, it probably fix whatever needed to happen.
I just realized I was muted. I'm an idiot.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
What were you saying?
Uh,
What you got for us, bro?
well, I was just double checking it because you said it was quiet, but also it's everything's repaired. So I was like, um, does it seem like does it seem like quiet just because of the time of the day, or is it kind of like people are gone or slash morning?
A little bit of both, you would wager.
Hmm.
Some of the buildings that have been restored appear empty, though surprisingly, a great deal of them have some sort of light or activity taking place within. Be it
Okay, so
hushed
the damage.
conversation, yeah. Just be like hushed conversation, a candle in the window, or a hearth fire warmly glowing through the glass.
Okay, so there's people. Okay, good to
Yes.
know. I'm gonna have to step out for 10 minutes. I'll be right back.
No worries. If anything, actually, how about we take a little quick short break? Um, Give me an opportunity to double check some notes that I want to run over really quickly before we continue. And this will be a great opportunity. Get a little stretch break in, grab some water or a snack. Um, as a heads up, we're probably going to be going for like another 30 or so minutes. So, um,
Okay, so more like wrapping things up, kind of.
yeah, we're kind of going to be wrapping things up in like the next 30 to 45.
Okay, yeah, that's good for me.
gotcha.
Alrighty, guys. Much appreciation. We'll be back in roughly 5.
Sorry.
You good? I think Rio's still on standby.
I. What did I miss?
Not much. I had cake. It was very good.
Yeah. Probably for lunch today. I'll wait for to finish the session to finish.
All right, we're back.
Yay!
Hey guys, sorry for the holdup.
No, it's all good.
Okie dokie. Now with you guys back in the city, all right, and kind of the ship left where you found it, or as close to as you could. Where do you decide you wish to go to next? What's the next move?
I think the most logical place to go would be All Father Inn, right?
Heading
I
back to
was
the
gonna say the
Allfathers?
same thing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know where else we'd go.
Yes, yes.
I mean,
Um,
although technically you guys still do have to talk to Pizzoli. You still
Well,
live,
we don't
you know.
even know if Pizzoli's around, so I feel like we should see if
Yeah.
I just figure the inn would be the best place to check first.
True,
it's a
true.
solid choice. Okay. The collection of adventurers make their way through the city streets, following the familiar path that they had taken to get to the port during the chase. And using these landmarks, eventually, it takes them to the northern part of the city, south of the Dwarven Quarter. You enter the large, old square, and on the opposite end, you see the familiar building that you've come to call a haven in these trying days, the All Fathers Tavern, which appears to be abuzz with activity. As you approach,
Actually, okay.
entering within its interior space, you're greeted by a lively display as the various denizens within drink and make merry, as if in celebration.
Tone here is a lot different from outside. I guess it's a good thing, right?
And I guess they're celebrating that they won.
But they live. I think survives the more proper term than one.
Oh,
Yes.
however they want to call it, I won't argue.
It's pretty lit in here.
I guess
See
we
what
try
you
to
did
find Eradikai if he's here.
And that proves to be rather easy. As you scan the various faces within the familiar and stern face of Eradikai is seen in the distance pouring drinks for various tavern goers and denizens within. And after a short time, he notices your collection enter and smiles widely. You bloody bastard survived!
Oh,
I can say the same to you.
Yes.
Kaz raises both her hands up in the air.
I can
Aye,
say the same to you. You guys fought the damn thing.
gonna take
So
more
I'm
than a
assuming you
bloody
won.
lizard to take out the 7 saviors.
I'm assuming you won then.
But of course! It was a glorious battle.
I wish I was there to see it, but I also enjoy breaching, unfortunately.
As he has said that, by the way, like a roar goes and kind of carries over the entire tavern as people cheer and raise their tankards into the air.
It's good to see that, it's been taken care of. I have to admit. Still worried that there'd be no city to come back to.
Oh, it is so much more lively here. It pleases Cass to see.
Aye, it was a concern of mine as well. But when I saw the number that had come out to fight the beast, I have to admit, I felt a degree of hope. And it wasn't long after that we managed to cut the beast down. And Pozzoli, the fucking bastard, it went and blew a hole through the damn creature's head. It was amazing.
Oh, so that was okay. Yeah, I think we saw the yard pillar of black fire. I assume that was him.
Aye, he's the flashy type, he is.
Okay, so I guess I think we do have some other concerns, unfortunately, but you know what? We can leave that for the morning. I need a drink, and I like ask for a drink.
Ah, and well earned, friend.
Yes, Cass is tired of drinking so much water. Cass wants something more.
And perhaps there's something we could learn. And perhaps there's something we could learn if you could regale us of the fine battle that you just had.
I think it'll make a good story. He leads the party over to the bar, and as you all take seats at the various stools, he pours each of you a tankard of Dragon's Brew. Before regaling you with the tale. He picks up after he had taken his leave of the party, and him and Youth make their way towards the beast. They had joined the fight some time into it, as others had already engaged the creature, doing their best to draw its attention and distract it. And once enough of them had gathered, they divided into 3 separate groups, as they evacuated the civilians with as much urgency as they could possibly muster before beginning the true engagement. It was then that one of the 3 teams focused on gaining the creature's attention and using it to lure it into an ideal position. The second group was charged with laying in wait and striking to disable the creature's legs and mobility at the first opportunity granted. With the final excuse me. With the final team being charged with using the opportunity to lay down a decisive blow. The distraction team succeeded, and using the tandem work with the ambush team, they managed to transport some of the acids used to refine the ores of the quarry district to the location that they had lured the beast. And, disabling its legs, they then aimed for the eyes. Noxus, a member of the Seven Saviors, more recent than all the others, pierced the Tarask's eye with his silver staff, and using it as a conductor, fired lightning directly into the creature's interior, using the rod as a kind of anchor point to channel his magics. And having done enough damage to one eye, a member known none other than the monk used this opportunity to pierce the other eye of the creature and enter its skull. Upon entering the skull of the creature, he unleashed his draconic energies in a ray of lightning dragon breath directly into the occipital area of the creature, hoping to send the voltage directly into its brain. This proved to be sufficient, stunning the creature long enough for Pozzoli to fly in, piercing the very same eye as the monk, and with the monk's help, sticking the landing. And at the first opportunity, unleashing a torrent of his raven fire directly into the creature's skull. As he did this, another member named Gilgamesh launched his special weapon, a spear capable of unleashing a massive combustive burst. And when the two met, Pozzoli's fire on the inside and the spear on the outside, it had just enough force to pierce the skull of the creature, allowing the fire to vent out and pretty much burn the brain of the Tarask to cinder. This unfortunately ruined some of the materials in the resulting damage, but casualties only numbered just over 50, a majority of which were from the initial landing of the Tarask and its rampage.
Wow. Yeah, he killed that pit. So I assumed you repelled it. Yeah, he killed that pit. But we didn't see its corpse anywhere.
Oh, well, if you go a little further westward, you'll find it. At least the bones of the creature.
So
Last
it's
I
still
checked,
there.
they managed to strip down all the meat. But yes, the skeleton of the creature still does reside in the city.
Oh, that's another
That is
nut.
a lot of meat.
And I might add, according to Iggy, we didn't manage to truly slay the creature. Upon dressing it, because there was no way we were planning on moving it anywhere, we realized that the heart inside of the creature was beginning to slowly regenerate. So, Iggy and a number of others have gone on a journey to bring the heart as far away from Barovia as he can.
So it's not dead. Even after all that, it's not dead.
Not truly,
Yeah.
but at least Barovia's safe.
Alright. And another notch to the legends of the Seven Saviors, I suppose. Amazing tale.
We have a tendency of having outlandish events fall into our lap. Not even sure how the bloody creature got into Barovia with no one noticing.
I mean, I think you've mentioned, but I'm pretty sure it was because of the cheese they gave us.
The cheese? I've never heard of the cheese doing something like that. But to be fair, I've seen it do some other outlandish things just as crazy.
It was the Mr. Caiaphas's little pseudo-dragon pet who eats the cheese and manifests as thing.
Don't worry, the dragon spot. Make sure of that.
He punished it good.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow, looking to Caiaphas, who's just kind of silently drinking his brew, uttering a single "Yep."
Uh, that was an amazing tale, and I'm glad to see the place that he survived such a ordeal. Unfortunately, I said, as though cursed by some fates, we don't have good news to bring.
He cocks an eyebrow.
Lance, I think you're more coherent than I am. I think you're better off explaining this.
Sorry, I was deep in thought because I was. We're basically recapping of like, hey, there might be other things besides the Tarask we need to worry about.
Hey, so evil thing made contact with us. Really scary. Possible invasion.
Yeah, I want to talk to you if she's around.
I think if we talk to Radikai first, and then he'll gather who we need to talk to. That's why I
Yeah.
figured to tell him now.
Oh yeah. Well, I hopefully they'll believe all the stuff I'm about to tell them because I find it hard to believe already.
But considering what these guys have gone through, I think they'll take they'll take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it's just we all agree we're over heads right now.
Oh yes, very lots.
Okay, I'm gonna take a drink and just chug it as well as I can, and then speak to Eradicai.
And bit by bit, you recount all of the information you've learned in the past 2 days, as well as the strange dream that you all shared, and the vision that Jean mentioned having while you were adrift on your way back. And as you recount this tale, his expression remains stoic until you finish, at which point his singular cocked eyebrow furrows. Well, don't know too much about all of that. Never heard of no Shortmarsh. But, if anybody could give you the information you need, it'd definitely be Youth. You might be able to find her in the city, Aurora.
Oh, and the floating thing. Can we just go there? Like, do we need to talk to anyone? Do we need like a pass to get there?
Do we need wings?
Well, luminescence is governed by Aurora is governed by luminescence, or the unlikely few, as a few would like to call them. They're probably some of the most hospitable folks. Some of the most hospitable folks you'll find in New Barovia.
Eradicai's been drinking.
So long as you've got good intentions, I can't see why they wouldn't let you aboard. You might have to go through the guard, but they shouldn't give you too hard of a time. Tell them that I sent you.
Okay. I think we can do that. Is the city going to go anywhere anytime soon, or or can we wait until the morning? Perhaps it's a bit too late for us to go there now.
Well, from what I understand, they're trying to gather some supplies or something. so they might be here for another day or two. You should
Alright,
be
I
able
guess we
to
can wait.
approach in the morning. It shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, I guess we can wait. I'm assuming you don't have any rooms available at the moment, right?
For
I'm
you
looking
all,
around at the crowd.
of course. He
Yeah, I get-
rummages behind the bar top before withdrawing a key. You could use that to get to the back room.
Oh, thank you. That's it. That's it. I guess we'll. I think first thing in the morning we'll go to Aurora and regale our experience once again for another problem that we might be encountering. And I
Yes,
down my
yes.
drink.
Aye. You well earned this rest.
And you've certainly well earned this celebration. My God, imagine telling the legend. Even I know of it. Even I know of that cursed thing. That thing's been caught here. That thing's been plaguing the land for God knows how long. And you
Oh, it
killed
is.
it.
Very
Well,
big
you've-
and scary.
I'll be frank
well,
with you.
not killed.
It wasn't easy, and it did take quite a number of us. I believe
Well,
by the end of the day, it was about 15 of us in total.
if only we were more equipped to help you, we would have been glad to offer a hand. But
He
as
places
you
a
can see, we're
hand on
kind
your
of new to this.
He places a hand on your shoulder. Fret not, lad. You'll get there.
Yeah, all right. And it seems fate is pushing us towards something anyway. And see, there's a look of worry in Jan's expression, like won't have much of a choice.
You'll be fine. We will all be fine and stronger. Yes.
Well, fate has
Yeah.
a funny way of working, friend.
Yeah, okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of pooped. I think I'm gonna go collapse. Yeah, into the room. I think I'll see you all in the morning. And I gesture towards the back room and decide to turn in for the morning. For the evening.
Fair enough. You head to the back, unlocking the door and entering into the space beyond. Much to your surprise, it's a rather homely and comfortable space, as this appears to be where Eradikai lives.
Oh,
A rather spacious 5-room plot that, while rather simplistic in its layout, is kind of carries all the fundamentals for a comfortable existence.
oh wow. I make my way to what he would gesture as the guest room and promptly collapse into a bed. What's everyone else doing?
Chiquita is looking for halfling weed.
And after trolling about in the tavern for roughly 5 or so minutes, she comes across a rather shifty looking Kenku wearing a hood. His voice is a disconjointed collection of
God.
various words and statements and phrases heard from men, women, and all manner of man and mer.
Oh god.
You want? Halfling. Weed?
Is this fucking Linneus?
Yes.
Yeah, Chiquita nods furiously.
The Kenku looks to the left and right with a shifty gaze. ensuring that nobody's paying attention, before palming over a small leather satchel across the table.
Chiquita grabs it real quick.
Gold piece you have for me.
Um,
You have any money? I thought you...
oh, okay, yeah, I have like,
Did you
Yeah,
split?
some-
Did you split the stuff from like, like? I didn't get. I didn't get any piece from that.
she hands over 1 gold piece.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Oh my god.
I mean, or does come fine.
Before the Kenku disappears into the crowd,
What am
walking
I gonna-
backwards like a shadow.
What am I gonna smoke this in?
Cast fireball, no.
Wait, you don't?
No.
Are you telling me you? Are you telling me you don't have a built-in bong? I'm
gonna have to ask
surprised.
Silas for that,
Stop.
or Roko. Maybe Roko might be able to do that better.
An arm that detaches into a collapsible
Yeah.
Anyway. We'll say that he tossed in some
Paraphernalia.
some pressed paper.
Okay.
Here we go.
Chiquita will offer drugs to her flesh pets.
I am not there anymore.
Oh, I don't know about the. I've never done drugs before.
Poor Lance.
It's
He's
better
like-
than cheese.
Oh god.
Okay, I'm not
That's
doing
not a
it
good-
then.
that is-
Never mind.
That is not a. That's not a good comparison.
I'm like, okay, never mind then.
For what it's worth, it doesn't do anything like the cheese does. It's just
I'm-
yeah.
yeah. I'm assuming when it's just weed, it's gonna just be weed.
yeah. Yeah.
This whole trip feels like acid trip or mushroom trip. I was thinking, why not just smoke drugs?
Cass doesn't know
Sure.
what any of that means, but Cass is curious.
Sure, nothing beats a Lovecraftian revelation than more psychedelics.
Poor Kaz. I feel like if I smoke Kaz up, it's like smoking a child. But Chiquita would do it.
Oh Jesus Christ. Well, with that said, Caiaphas, Kaz, and Chiquita partake in the halfling herb.
Cass is
Sharing
an adult,
in
just not a
drink.
responsible adult.
Sharing in
I
drink and
refu-
merriment.
I refuse to believe Caiaphas is just going to let that slide and like not partake.
Exactly. You know, that's exactly where my head was. That's why I was like, yeah, Caiaphas definitely partook in that.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
But yeah, with that said, I think this will be where we call it. Picking back up the following morning.
More horrible revelations.
Yeah.
One,
I love
I
our
swear,
life.
I swear, we have one every session.
Well, you know, it all will slowly come together. All
It's like a Bob. It's like a Bob Ross picture, but every new paint that he chooses just like
Let's paint
shows
some
more and more.
pretty little eldritch horrors right over here, and we'll pair them up with these happy little trees.
You can't
They're-
comprehend it, but you know it's there.
They're skeletal white and look like they're dead, but that's exactly the kind of atmosphere we're looking for.
You know, it just makes you all warm and fuzzy inside.
Makes you want to peel your skin off.
Oh
Happy
god.
little mistakes as your mind dives into madness.
But as
God.
always, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm
Oh,
very happy
oh,
with
wow.
today's session.
I think we're going to. I think Lance is finally going to meet Silas now next session.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We're
it's
We're gonna
very.
getting there.
kiss.
Yeah, pretty much it's very likely. If you guys end up going to Aurora next session, yeah, you probably will meet Silas. And a lot of the others as well.
Rose.
Oh shit! I
They
have
don't.
to-
They both don't know why, but they both start crying when they see each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's like, I feel kinship.
The thing is, though, there's a vision later, and then John sees the tears, but they're tears of blood because the Lovecraft has to lean in.
Of
Oh
course.
god.
Of course. A little bit of tears of blood, you know, some eldritch deep speak in your head, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And lost sockets such as the deep void.
I guess in hindsight, it was a good thing that I was the one who experienced that whole Vision Quest. Imagine if Lance had to experience it.
Oh lord, that would have been scary.
Uh,
But to be fair, that specific vision quest was something more unique to you anyway.
yeah.
You know what I
God,
mean? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I would be there for that one.
yeah.
But also, I kind of wonder how much Lance is going to lean into. It's like, well, I gotta know.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Uh,
I'm actually
Well, I'm
really
here now.
excited to see how you guys go forward with the events that are going to take place. Put simply, even though you guys are 4th level, having access to Aurora and potentially the skill sets that are available aboard there will give you access to some very powerful tools and resources. I encourage you to utilize them.
oh yeah, I'm aware,
power
but also I'm
level.
terrified that we're just gonna use them terribly.
That's part of the fun, though. You know, you come into your own. You know.
We,
Uh,
we need to
yeah,
arm.
of course.
We need to arm ourselves, man. Look, what I saw was bad. Shit's about to go down.
Yeah, I know. I'm already like accepting that I'm gonna have to, even if I'm still hesitant, I'm still gonna have to trust you because I'm like, look, I need to get stronger, and you're strong, so I have to put my faith in you. That's the reason why I was like looking for it, and that's what like I wasn't focused because I was like, okay, what do I say to Yuffie? She's here.
No, it makes sense. She does frequent the Allfathers often, and just in like put simply, their events put them where they are right now. So that's
Yeah.
the only reason why she wasn't there now.
Sure.
But normally she does chill in the Allfathers.
Yeah.
She's got a
Even though
bard.
they're both
She-
PCs and NPCs.
Well, no, she's a bard.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she's
didn't know that part.
She's a lore bard whose focus was specifically on the study of Maestra and the Weave, and it evolved over time into her ending up on the path of becoming the Chosen of Maestra, or a Chosen of Maestra, since there's more than one.
Yeah. I have no idea where my path is gonna go because it's.
It can go
I mean,
wherever you
yeah.
take it, be it natural or like something planned out. you know?
Supernatural.
Yep, supernatural. All of it, you know? The whole shebang.
I have plans for Kaz. I'm just not sure how they will unfold exactly.
And if you have any suggestions, thoughts, ideas, or things you want to integrate using your backstory or your characters, like a specific story or trait, please don't hesitate to shoot me DMs at all. Don't ever hesitate to shoot me DMs. Like, if I can find ways of integrating more about your character into the story, I want to. And don't think that I haven't already. I've got some stuff in the pipeline already.
DM us
Oh.
more, actually.
I got you.
We're lonely.
Yeah.
Please talk to us. Oh my god.
Hugs.
Okay, I'll share stuff, but also I'm just I already kind of feel like there's unintentional stuff because I haven't said as much because it's the beauty of just like, well, we're discovering this path.
And on top of that,
Eldritch
like
Horror.
the dice gods kind of naturally let it happen that way. That's a big dictator for me. You know what I mean? The dice gods
Yeah, I
say it
agree.
happens. The dice gods say it happens, and Lance has just been killing it with those rolls when it comes to understanding. So,
Oh my god.
I'm out of curiosity.
what's up?
Just out of curiosity. During that whole vision quest, when he was about to approach me, if I didn't, de-escalate the situation the way I did, would have that been bad for me?
It might have, yes. It could have led to combat. Let's put it that way.
God,
Not necessarily in that instance, but it could have led to combat. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. But I felt that. I felt the silence. Like, it's about to go down. What do I say? What do I say to this? De-escalate this. Okay, lean into this.
Nah, that-
okay.
Can I
That
phone a
was
friend?
fun.
Can I phone a friend? Lance, help me, help me.
That was
no,
really
put me through your
clever.
mission quest.
That was super clever, using his own like zealotous behavior against him like that. His own circular cult logic.
Yeah, like,
Well played.
I think I might have a last name for Lance now. And it's
word.
bleeding.
Slap that bad
oh,
boy right on the sheet, man. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
To lead into his pure boy nature, it's Goodwin.
oh,
It's so
Adorable.
perfect.
oh, that makes it so much more sad.
Yep. Well, that also explains why he believes good can win. So it's like it's like, well, my family has always been like, we this is a family name. Karma and good will happen if you do good. So just keep doing that. And I'm like, I'm trying.
It's literally the family credo. We got this.
Goodwin's bad, terrible, or not so good journey.
Goodwin's a terrible journey. I like that.
Good win, but at what cost?
Oh man, this is gonna be good. But hell yeah. As always, guys, much love. Thank you so much for coming through. A DM without players is just a guy talking to himself and reading a lot of books. So,
What
Thanks
the
again,
fuck?
as
Definitely haven't done
always.
that before.
Thank you for the
Same.
session.
thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm actually excited.
Good, I'm glad.
Alright.
Good night, everyone.
Yes. Good night.
Take
Good
care,
night.
friends.
Good night, good night. Take care.
Bye bye.
And if either of you guys have Monster Hunter, hit me up sometime this week. I'm gonna be playing it a little bit. We could always get together and play some.
Ooh,
Well, I know
yes, actually,
you have a Monster Hunter, so.
you should. Yeah, you should probably add me to Steam already. Actually,
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Shoot me a DM
What
with your
the
Steam
fuck?
name.
We haven't done that yet?
I'm saying,
What
like,
the hell?
shoot me a DM over Steam. Not Steam, Discord, and I'll add you over Steam.
Okay.
Much love, guys.
All right.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Good night. Bye.
Now that, friends, was one hell of a session. I think that was a pretty solid start. Pretty solid start of their post-prologue story. Things are really starting to come together. They got all these nice little specific details. With a little bit more time, the pieces will fall in place. And it'll all become clear. And I'm so excited. These guys are great. They're such great players. So as always, friends, be sure to take care of yourselves and drink plenty of water, get plenty of rest, but most importantly, that you continue to love yourselves and each other, that tomorrow might be a better day. And especially these days, we need it more than ever. To care about one another and ourselves, because a cup that's empty can't fill others. But all that mushy stuff out the way, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with us at the DPRQ. Be sure to show some love to 2-Bit Alistair and Verinter. Give them a follow. You know, they're great folks, fantastic content creators, and really good friends. I, my friends, after a very long day, intend on getting some rest and catching you all again tomorrow. Likely with some Monster Hunter Rise. We'll probably be starting around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you're interested, just want to keep good old Uncle Quint some company, I look forward to catching you then. Pleasant dreams all. Catch you next time.